Thanks for staying with us. Time now for Media Watch, which I'm joined by Olivia Salazar-Winspear. Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
Right, so today we are starting off with the backlash from the Kony 2012 Awards.
Yes, well, Kony 2012, I mean, arguably the biggest web story of this week, a viral sensation. The video was viewed by 50 million people this week, and it was the most popular Twitter hashtag as well. Just to recap on the story, this is a group called Invisible Children who made a video to draw attention to the plight of Ugandan children caught up in civil conflict in Uganda. Now, there's been an inevitable backlash to this because once the video was made, of course, a lot of journalists started really criticising the actual aims of the organisation that put the video out there, because they were asking for money, they were asking for donations, appealing for cash, really. There's an article in the New York Times that says a distant conflict soars to topic number one here, wondering why we're so worried about a conflict in Uganda when we're millions of miles away and what the real aims of this association is. And The Guardian too has called on citizen journalists here to, we've got, Kony 2012, citizen journalists in Uganda to bring their account of what's actually going on to the fore because, there's a few conflicting reports. There's also been a Tumblr blog that's been established this week called Visible Children instead of Invisible Children, that's been critical of the whole campaign and really tries to show people who are interested in contributing to aid and action in Uganda where they can go, where it's legitimate. So this story isn't going away for the moment. It's still bouncing around the net. Even Oprah tweeted it this week.
Well, they say no publicity is bad publicity. So it's publicity. So it must go some way towards at least, putting the issue on people's agendas. Now, in another story, it looks like Sarah Palin is back on our screens. Is this a last-minute presidential bid?
This is not, sadly, a last-minute presidential bid from the part of Sarah Palin. This is actually a fake Sarah Palin. It's a fictional Sarah Palin played by Julianne Moore, very well played by Julianne Moore. It's uncanny how similar they look. I think it's the glasses. This is a new HBO series called Game Change, which tells the story of how John McCain came to recruit Palin as his running mate in the 2008 election. The casting's incredible. You've got Woody Harrelson there. You've got Ed Harris, very convincing as John McCain. It was premiered last night in the US, and Palin fans have called it a smear film. They say that it's just highlighting what many people see as the big Republican era of 2008, which was the recruitment of Sarah Palin. I mean, that's subjective whether you think it was an error or not. But in the run-up to this year's election, they say this is just Democrats trying to make them look silly on the small screens. And HBO, it's a big channel. An interesting detail, actually, is that this series is produced by Tom Hanks, who narrated the trailer for the Democrats' upcoming documentary, which to promote 4 years in office of Obama. So it does look like the Democrats are in cahoots. I think we can take a look at an extract, actually.
You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Oh my God, what have we done?
I just don't want to let John down.
She's a great actress, right? Why don't we just give her some lines?
I have to win this thing. I so don't want to go back to Alaska.
So now we're going to have an interactive look at Fukushima 1 year on.
Yes. So to Japan, where, of course, we're 1 year after the tsunami and Fukushima disaster. There's been a lot of coverage in the papers of this, how the rebuilding efforts are going. Reconstruction is obviously has been underway for the last year. When it happened, this disaster, we saw a lot of before and after photographs of buildings, how they'd been destroyed. Now, The Guardian's got an amazing interactive tool here. You can see this is what it looked like on the day the tsunami hit, and this is where we are 1 year on. And it's a brilliant tool that really shows you lots of different sites. There's an airport, there are the docks. This scroll tool that we can see here is been used enormously by The Guardian. Here we've got Sendai Airport, for example. The New York Times, first used a lot during the Haitian earthquake. I saw it then. And really, also in New Zealand when the earthquake hit, here we can see the difference between a spick and span airport as it is today and what it looked like absolutely flooded at the time of the tsunami. These kind of scrolling things have been coming in, to illustrate things that are very visual, and they do speak 1,000 words, I think, perhaps more for some people than a long-form article, really aimed at people using tablet technology or smartphones.
Yeah, it really does drive the point home just how terrible it was and how much progress has been made, but clearly, there's still a way to go. Well, thanks very much for that roundup. For Media Watch, Olivia Salazar-Winsberg.